The first week of the Diversity Academy here at Chico State has far exceeded my expectations. Unlike a number of my colleagues who are participating as well, I knew what to expect. Back in May, Trey Robinson and I traveled down to the University Pacific, and we were allowed to sit in on one of the sessions of their faculty diversity seminar, which is also facilitated by Susan Shaw of Oregon State. And so going in last week, I knew the kinds of activities and exercises we would be asked to engage in. I knew the kind of critical inquiry, the kind of reflection, the kind of connections we would be asked to make. So that I was prepared for. The thing that I was perhaps not prepared for was coming to this acceptance of my own privilege as a black female from a working class background who was the first in her family to go to a 4-year institution to graduate and then to ultimately receive a terminal degree, who is now a tenured associate professor. I experienced privileges in many forms, and it's not something that I'm often aware of on a daily basis. This realization that I am privileged in many ways, although there are still many issues, many isms and other forms of oppression or systemic forms of oppression that I must do battle against as well. One of the things that has resonated with me in this Diversity Academy has been this sort of solidifying of this notion that I've had that at the university we all teach. In terms of talking with other of my colleagues, that there has been some concern on our part that our staff colleagues feel as included in Diversity Academy as well, that not all the conversation centers solely around pedagogy or what happens in the classroom, because we didn't want to invalidate their experience or make them feel other in a seminar that was intended for all of us. And yet, as I've been talking to and interacting with colleagues from across campus, colleagues who have staff positions, the thing that has really become quite clear to me is that the university, and not just Chico, but all universities need to classify its employees along the lines of staff or faculty is really unfortunate, because I think it undercuts the notion that we all educate. And somehow or another, this idea exists that only faculty educate because we work in a classroom, because we interact with students in a classroom setting, because we deal with pedagogy or we talk about curriculum or constructing syllabi and things of that nature. But the thing that we overlook is the fact that our colleagues on staff positions also educate. They're the ones who teach our students how to navigate their way through the university environment, how to locate resources, how to succeed at being a college student, how to perform as professionals when they supervise or manage students in student positions in their various offices. They teach them about the other positions that exist on the campus setting and the possibilities for employment, for careers, for job fulfillment, all of those sorts of things. They oftentimes teach us, the faculty, when they come to our departments or when we interact with them in various spaces on campus about, the various rules and policies on campus. And so I think we need to move away from this notion that only certain people educate, and we need to really work on putting forth this idea that no matter who you are, no matter what position you hold on campus, you are an educator. If you interact with students in any capacity, you have the ability to, and I shouldn't just say the ability, you have the ability and the responsibility to educate as well. It's interesting that I often see some of the gentlemen who work in facilities and the student assistants. It would be nice to see a couple of female student assistants, but that's an aside. But I often notice the sort of relationship that they have with the young men who work with them. And the things that they teach these young men, not just about, various aspects of their jobs in terms of moving or painting or building things or deconstructing things or whatever it is that they do. But too, for some of those students, they also teach these young men how to be men, how to be professionals, right? All sorts of things that we wouldn't necessarily think about, but that actually happen. And so with that, I guess for me, I think if we really want to become the inclusive and diverse institution that we say that we want to be, then that's one of the things that we really need to work on. Um, Embracing this notion that teaching is not something that just resides in one location, but that it's something that we all should and must do.